All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rachak Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders, the great millstone, who teach and rule well. And salutations to the Yakim out there laboring at the hopeful elect that's doing this work in truth and sincerity. And I want to play a small clip from the show Redacted. And pretty much there's a guest host on here. He's pretty much an ex-military man and a weapons inspector, former weapons inspector. And he's pretty much laying down a cold hard facts of the U.S. military and pretty much of how depleted it is, and we're seeing now, that the orders have been sent out, to go into that warmongering mode, and to pretty much carry out the agenda that they intended to do, which is ultimately go to war with Iran. This has been talked for years, but with this whole conflict now going on in Israel, it's pretty much inevitable, and it's going to come to a head. And this is what the elites want anyway. They want this war. They want to bring it on, But the cold hard facts, still remain on the situation that's going on in militarily. We have to understand that the numbers are down, as far as military members is concerned. Morale's probably at an all-time low, and pretty much, people are not taking pride in this country, man. You see? All right, for one, we're seeing how retired or ex-military men are being treated. People see that. These people are pretty much on the street, and they're begging for money. They're begging for food. A lot of them are homeless. A lot of them have mental issues that are not being addressed. Okay, and pretty much funding that would help these people. Okay, the money is being allocated to go towards migrants coming into the country. You see, or it's going towards the Ukraine war. You see, all right. So people see how a man of war, is being treated in this place. All right. When they're through with you, that's it, man. You're no good to them. You see. Okay, so these people are not, in the best case scenario of for them benefiting to joining the military. You see? And now you have the younger generation coming in now, and they've been indoctrinated, and they're real, pretty much they're, soft, okay? They're not, built to endure hardness. You see, okay, because everything has been pretty much, handed to them with the long handled spoon, so to speak. The sentiment is to deal with them delicately, so to speak. And you see the younger generation out there, man. They're not taking life seriously. You see, with all of the distractions on social media, and the garbage that's on the radio, this is what they get themselves into. Okay, these kids are pretty much happy-go-lucky. They like to walk around with slides on their feet all day, or some damn slippers, and this is how they carry out their day. Okay, they pretty much go through their days, wearing slippers, man. Wearing pajamas. All right, they pretty much love to slumber, man. And they're slumbering within this world, and we're seeing the cold hardness of this world pretty much rear its head, and you're seeing the nations pretty much gearing themselves up, man, and preparing ourselves for war. But meanwhile, here in the States, this is one big Disneyland, and the average Jake or the average so-called Babylonian doesn't really even know what the hell's going on, man. He doesn't really know what's at stake, But I just wanted to set it up a little bit, of the the dire facts, that pretty much face this country moving forward, and in their pursuit of world dominance, and we're seeing that it has some holes, pretty much, in their agenda, man. You see, okay, it sounds real good what they want to pretty much take over, all right. It sounds real good on what their future endeavors are, but the cold hard reality is that it's nothing further than from the truth, man. You see. So, without any further ado, let's play a little bit of this clip.
China now says we support what you're doing. We're on your side. We're on Team Putin when it comes to Ukraine, when it comes to the world, the global position. This is bad news for those in the United States who are trying to resurrect Cold War fantasies of being able to wage and win two wars simultaneously. Back when I was in the Marine Corps, we actually had a posture of fighting 2.5 wars. The way the United States was configured militarily, we could fight a war in Europe using NATO and defeat the Soviet Union. At the same time, we could fight a major war in the Pacific, probably North Korea, and defeat the North Korean Chinese threat, and still have sufficient force to engage in a smaller war, say in the Middle East, where we would fight a holding action until we won one of the two major wars and diverted the resources in to win the half war. And we had the forces to do that. We trained to do it. We were ready to do it. And thank God we never had to do it, but I think we could have done it. Today, we went from 2.5 to 2 wars. Today, we're down to literally 1 war, and we can't even do 1 war. Let's be honest. If we went to war right now in Europe against Russia, we don't have sufficient military force to prevail. We can fight a war. We can't win a war. If we went to war against China, we could fight a war, but we can't win it. And that's even if we bring the totality of our conventional strength into play. And now we're talking about doing it against both Russia and China. The costs that are going to be associated with this are phenomenal. First of all, it's going to require a massive expansion of our conventional military power. The United States Army just had a shortfall in recruiting. They are literally tens of thousands of personnel short of what their authorized manning strength is, which means instead of expanding the U.S. Army, they have to shrink it. They don't have enough men or women to fill the ranks. And so certain units, certain capabilities are being taken down to zero because you don't have manpower to do this. And now Congress is talking about beefing up. With what? Are you going to go to a draft? Have you run that by the American people? Is it really smart for the United States to talk about fighting a 2 war? Do we know what that means? It means that America has to leave our continental fortress, go across the oceans to fight a war over there in their backyard. In their backyard. That means...
And essentially what he's saying is that today's youth are not willing to trade in their slides or their Crocs for a pair of combat boots and pretty much go into a land that they don't know not, a land where they're pretty much going to be taken out of their comfort zone, man. You see? Okay, because this is essentially what will actually happen. Okay, because the war is pretty much brewing in various areas abroad. And this is where you would have the youth, okay, pretty much getting involved with it, man. You see? So they're very reluctant to even do that, man. This generation is not motivated by anything, man. Okay, when you want to talk about a part-time job or something like that, where and it's pretty much a revolving door, man. These kids pretty much will last a few weeks on the job, man, and then they're on to something else, man. Their attention span is very minimal, man. You see? Okay, and they're not built like how men were built, man, centuries ago, man. You see, this is a worst case scenario for a Babylonian man being built up in this place, man. Okay, you see, because masculinity, okay, is frowned upon. You see, all right. So how the hell are these young men, okay, being groomed in any kind of way to fight a war, man? Let's continue.
We're taking Russia on, in a confrontation in Europe where Russia's logistics are literally right there next to them. They're supplying themselves from interior lines of communication. We will have to extend ourselves. We don't have sufficient logistical buildup in Europe anymore. That would cost billions to do that. That means we have to sustain from the United States with lengthy supply lines. It's literally suicidal. So this is insane. Biden's talking about potential conflict with Iran. We can't fight Iran. We don't have the forces to do that. We fought the Gulf War in 1991 by having friendly ports and airfields that we could bring our ships into and offload in an uncontested fashion and land and offload troops. How are we going to do that in a war with Iran? They're going to blow up every port, blow up every airfield. It means now we have to do a forcible entry into an Iranian port, Chabahar, Bandar Abbas. We don't have the force structure to do that. Iran has missiles that'll sink our ships before we get there. They're parking 2 aircraft carrier battle groups off the coast of Lebanon with a 2,000 man amphibious ready group to fight Hezbollah. Hezbollah's 100,000 men, highly trained, dug in to the hills of southern Lebanon who've been preparing for this fight. We have gone insane. Let me just make it very clear. America can't fight and win a war anywhere in the world right now against any power that has any military capability. We're that weak. We are literally that weak.
We can't even stop people coming across our own southern border to the tune of 10 to 15,000 people per day. So we can really extend ourselves going all the way to China or Iran and turning, of course, former allies, I suppose, in Saudi Arabia against us as well. The Biden administration getting the cold shoulder from Saudi Arabia. But the Biden administration seems keen on raising another $100 billion for the war in Ukraine and to funnel money into Israel. Over the past 24 hours, Zelensky on the Ukrainian side has said, see, all of these long-range weapons you've sent us have worked. We now took down 8 Russian helicopters, so keep sending us money. And the Biden administration seems keen on doing that. Where is this money going to go? What is it going to be used for in Ukraine? Hasn't this been finished now? Aren't we done here?
Well, Ukraine's over, first of all. Let's put the attack on the airfield in perspective.
And they're pretty much saying that war's over, man. It's nothing but, right now, it's nothing but a pretty much a money pit, man. Okay? That's all it is right now, is a money pit. You see? All right? But this place is going to get exactly what it's pretty much asking for, man. All right? This is Isaiah chapter 47. Let's start at verse 7. And thou sayest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to heart, neither didst thou remember the latter end of it. When this place pretty much, man, is puffed up with pride, man. Okay? They pretty much are just, trying to throw their weight around, man, as that superpower. But pretty much, man, the superpower, the mystique of it is pretty much been diminished, man. Okay, this place is not on the level as it has used to be, man. Okay, the height of the military might was pretty much World War II. But even when you want to go into maybe Desert Storm, but you're fighting a country that pretty much didn't have any type of military, man. Okay, when you want to speak about Iraq, but now these countries now are pretty much have nuclear capability. They pretty much are built up, man. You see, and the scriptures say, "Have you become weak as we?" You see, all right. But it says, "Therefore now hear this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly." And this place dwells carelessly, man. And the world sees that, man. You know, okay. Most of the folly that you do see on social media is coming from the shores of Babylon, man. Okay, the perverseness is coming from the shores of Babylon, man. Okay, you know, just the fact that these people don't have a clue on the geopolitical stage of what really going on, man. You see, okay, they're pretty much, you know, into folly, man. You know, this is all they're into, man. You know, but this place, they dwell carelessly, and they're given to pleasures, man. The pleasures of this world, man. You see? Okay? These people are pretty much don't want to be taken out of their comfort zone, man. Okay? And to wage war pretty much on the world, you would have to be taken out of your comfort zone, man. You see? But it says, right, that are given to pleasures, right, and dwelleth carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. You know, and pretty much, man, this is the sentiment of this place, man. They're still going off the old mystique, okay? That brought them that fame, okay, from sending fire coming down from heaven, man. You know, when they dropped those atomic bombs on Japan. You see, all right, they're still riding the wave from that, man. Okay, you see, they're still riding the wave for that. All right, it says, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood, and they shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thy enchantments. You know, and they think that the enchantments and sorceries are going to trump the dire situation that really faces them, man. You know, and this is this ex-military man giving his honest and brutal opinion, and stark reality of what's really going on here in Babylon as far as with the military might, man. You see, okay, we're pretty much you know, stretched thin on all sides, man. You know, every branch of the military is pretty much have taken a personnel hit, man. You see, okay, the personnel was not built up to the way that it should be to fight a full-fledged war. Now, he mentioned that, you know, this place used to be able to fight multiple wars at one time, man, but not no more. You see, okay, so this is the time that we're coming into, man. We're seeing pretty much the demise of the hammer, man, in the earth, man. You know, the hammer of the earth, the scriptures talk about how it has ceased. You see, it says, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. You see, and a lot of things that are going on behind closed doors, man, where you pretty much are provoking war. You see, you trusted in your wickedness, man. You trusted in what the soothsayers pretty much were saying, you know, to go forth and pretty much wage war, man. You see, it says, thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. You know, because why? It's because your counsel is not, they're not thinking straight. They're not thinking right, man. You see, the counsel has failed them, man. The wise counsel has failed them, okay? You see, all right? And they're pretty much are going to be taken in a snare, man. Okay, this man is pretty much delusional on the highest level. That's really detrimental to his life. You see, it says, thy wisdom, thy knowledge, it have perverted thee, and thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. You know, and it's pretty much, man, is the mantra that goes on when you speak about the military, man. You see, okay, this man is still reigning with his, you know, his ideology, okay, and his supremacy, man. You see, it says, therefore shall evil come upon thee, and thou shalt not know from whence it ariseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee, and thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. You see, and all these things are going to come into its perfection, as the Lord had said, man. Okay, you see, you're going to have mischief. Okay, you're going to have desolation. Okay? You're going to have evils that are going to come upon thee, man. You see? Okay? So this is the climate that this place is pretty much going to face, man. Okay? Let's get a little bit more.
Perspective. Ukraine fired, I believe, a total of 7 ATACMS and the cluster bomb munition variant of the HIMARS. 5 of them were shot down by the Russians. This is the Russians' first look at this weapon system, meaning that their air defense wasn't configured to defeat this weapon system, but they shot down 5. The 2 that hit didn't get direct hits. They damaged 2 helicopters. They destroyed 2 helicopters. They damaged 7. Those 7 will be brought back into working order. So basically, Ukraine launched a surprise attack using their Miracle weapon, and they destroyed 2 helicopters. Russia now has the radar tracked, has all the technical data they need on this, the guidance system. Ukraine will never get a chance like it had. This was supposed to be a massive blow, a surprise attack that would annihilate a Russian airfield. It was a surprise attack. Russia shot down the vast majority of the missiles. The 2 that hit did not deliver a knockout blow, and they will never get this surprise opportunity again. That's it for ATACMS. So we shouldn't be talking about ATACMS anymore. They used it. It didn't do what it was supposed to do. It's done. What else do we have up our sleeves to give? This is it. F-16s now? But remember, those are old aircraft. Nobody's talking about F-16s anymore. The ATACMS was the miracle weapon. It was the one everybody said we had to give to Ukraine to level the battlefield. We gave it to them. They used it. It isn't much. I told everybody that. It's not that good of a weapon system. And used against the Russians, it won't be any good. Now the Russians have built up a threat model. They're going to reconfigure their air defense, tinker it, and it's going to get shot down every time it's fired. Ukraine's got nothing left. Their strategic reserves are empty. They're fighting a series of battles on the front line right now where the operational tempo is dictated by Russia. Ukraine, whatever's left of the Ukrainian army is dying. They have nothing to replace it. Russia's taken over the initiative.
And that's pretty much it. You see? Okay? Now it's turning into pretty much a money pit at this point, man. You know? But a lot of lives are being lost, man. You see? All right? From here, let's go to Ezekiel 35. Let's start at verse 2. Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it, and say unto it, Thus saith the Lord power, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. You see? Okay, so the Lord is pretty much showing his face and coming up against Mount Seir, man. Okay? And this is what we're proclaiming. Okay? It says, I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh, because thou hast had in a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, in the time of their calamity, in the time in which their iniquity had an end. You know, and pretty much, man, you know, you had that, this man has that perpetual hatred, okay, towards the children of Israel, man, okay, and he shows it day in and day out, man, okay, the hatred is perpetual, man, okay, and this is one of the reasons why the Lord is going to make this place desolate, man, okay, the Lord hasn't forgotten, okay, you see, the Lord said that he's going to gather them there, where, in the valley of Jehoshaphat, man, so he could plead for his people and for his heritage, Israel, man. You see? Okay? It says, Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. You know, when this man is pretty much going into that warmonger spirit, man. You know, that old Edomite spirit is coming back, man. You know, and he's going to pretty much enforce his blessing to the fullest extent, man. Okay? Because why? It's because he's coming with great wrath, because he knows, but he has but a short time, man. You see? Okay? You see? But blood will pursue this man. Okay? Because he has not hated blood. So he's gonna, a lot of blood will be shed, man. Okay? And it says, Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. And I will fill his mountains with his slain men, and in thy hills, and in thy valleys, and in thy rivers, and shall they fall that are slain with the sword. You see that? Okay? And it says, I will make thee perpetual desolations, and thy cities shall not return, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh. You see? All right? So this place, man, is destined for desolation, man. Okay? All right? According to scriptures, man. According to prophecy. You see? And this is the spirit of being, of Yahweh Shai is being in these prophecies, man. You see? Okay? This man is pretty much, man, on his last leg, man. You know? All right? From there, let's go to Isaiah chapter 14. Start at verse 19. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword that can go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. Okay? And the Lord is pretty much going to take your whole existence out of the earth, man. You see? The whole dominance of what you have pretty much have a stranglehold on the earth is going to be taken away from you, man. Okay? It says, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers. Okay? So now it's pretty much payback time, man. You know? And you are your forefathers, but pretty much slaughter is being prepared for you people, man. You see? Okay? Why? It's because you got to pay for the iniquities of your fathers, man. That they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant, and son and nephew, saith Yahweh. You see? Okay? So this place, man, is doomed, man. You know? Okay? And now they are baiting their courage to pretty much go into that warmonger spirit, man. Okay? And it's only going to be a snare into them, man. Okay? This place is pretty much morally depleted, spiritually depleted. Okay? All right? Physically, it cannot even hold anything that it is trying to hold up on its own. Okay? All right? Pretty much, let alone be a tyrant in the earth. They can't even defend themselves, man. Okay? So the military has been diminished to that point to where if attacked, this place cannot properly pretty much defend itself, man. You see? Okay? And the secrets are really pretty much getting out, man. And the nations know this. You see? So it's just pretty much a matter of time, man. Okay? So these prophecies pretty much get fulfilled, man. Okay? And the imminent destruction of Babylon, man. All right? So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Ruach Kwadash, Shalom.